Welcome to this review on the Moza AirCross. The Moza AirCross is a gimbal for mirrorless cameras. Let's start with the most important thing of all. The gimbal produces fantastic smooth shots. I never have vibrations. It is super easy to make smooth turns. I couldn't be happier about the steadiness this gimbal provides. The gimbal comes in this pretty packaging. The case includes the gimbal, one pack of batteries, the tripod legs, cables for Canon, Sony and Panasonic for time-lapse, and even a base plate. Mine also included this dummy battery and the thumb controller, but I don't think they are always included by default. One special feature of this gimbal is the base plate, because it is compatible with Manfrotto. To attach the base plate to the gimbal, you simply drop it in and tighten this screw. Those markings make it easier to find the right balance. If I want to use the camera on other devices that use Manfrotto systems, I can change between them within seconds. However, when comparing this base plate with the one from Manfrotto, we can see that they are kind of reversed. Both have a marking for the lens, but it is the opposite way around. So if I attach this base plate to my camera this way, it won't fit on Manfrotto's older 577 systems. If I don't follow the markings and turn it around, it works perfectly fine. So not sure why they ask you to attach it this way around. Balancing gimbals is pretty much the same on all of the different gimbal brands. One feature I haven't seen as often yet, because some cameras are wider than others, you can adjust the distance, very useful. One thing to mention, I really dislike it when I have to put the arm so far out that I can't fold the gimbal together anymore. With my usual setup, Sony a6300 and some young 12mm, it barely works, but it works. Other gimbals, especially the ones made for mirrorless cameras, have the same issue. I realized that I had struggles to balance my Sony a6300 with a heavier lens like the Sony 18-105. I got it kind of balanced, but not perfectly. Here are a few shots taken with the 18-105, and you can see that even though it's not perfectly balanced, the gimbal still produces fluid shots. With the joystick you can make up and down and left and right movements, but that is usually done by turning the handle. You can choose between follow mode and lock mode. I am always in follow mode. The 3 batteries are stored in the handle, which can be removed. There are also tripod legs included that can be attached at the bottom. For me, one of the most important features is the screw hole. I shoot weddings with 2 cameras. When I use my gimbal, I let my handheld camera hang down my shoulder. But when I use the handheld camera, I have to put the gimbal to the side, what really is not that great. But because of the screw hole, I can attach the gimbal to my body. This is the Neopine QWS-1 quick release waist strap, in case you wonder. I use it on weddings and couldn't be happier. I also got a dummy battery for Sony Alpha cameras. The dummy battery has a cable which gets attached to the gimbal. Then the gimbal's battery will charge the camera and you don't have to worry about the battery of your camera. The gimbal's battery easily lasts for a day, so this is a great solution. However, I'm not sure whether I'm too stupid for it. But isn't the cable attached to the wrong side of the battery? Because with this battery I can't use the hole in the battery door, specifically made for this case. Oh well, it still works with an open battery door. I also have the thumb controller, which you have to buy extra. With the thumb controller you can control all kind of stuff. There even is a feature called mimic control, where the motion of the controller controls the motion of the gimbal. Pretty cool. To attach the thumb controller to the gimbal you also need the handles, which are not included in this package. There also is an app for the gimbal which connects via Bluetooth. In the app you can do all kind of stuff like adjusting the horizon. Now the last thing I want to show you is the time-lapse function. The camera has to be connected to the gimbal. Now via the app I can set a path the gimbal should take and make all the adjustments that need to be done for time-lapse. Consider that the minimum shutter speed is 1 second, so under daylight you need to use a strong ND filter. Most importantly, this gimbal produces very smooth videos and the build quality is flawless. Some unique features distinguish it from the competitors. And that for a pretty affordable price. If you are an owner of a mirrorless camera with a light lens, then this is certainly a good option to buy.